Take me high. Take me high. Take me higher. Take me high. Take me higher.
What's up everybody? Welcome to the next instalment of the What's Up vlog. I thought it was about time that I introduced you to the other lady in my life. Meet Bianca. Now she's called Bianca because I was really into Rules of Engagement. I don't know if you watched that programme, the American sitcom, around the time that I bought her, and I had a bit of a schoolboy crush on Bianca Kalick, the actress that plays Jennifer. So I had a bit of a thing for her at the time, so I named my bike Bianca. I feel a bit bad actually, and I don't know if it's like with boats where it's bad luck to rename them, but I think I probably should, because I don't feel great when I say to my wife, oh I've been riding Bianca all day, or I'll be back in a bit, I'm just going to go and have a go on Bianca, or I'm going to take Bianca around the block a few times. It doesn't go down very well. So let me know in the comments if it's okay to change a bike's name after you've already christened it, or if it's bad luck like it is with a boat. Anyway, right, I'm going to run you through. Firstly, the basic bike is a Specialized Allez Sport 2015 model. I bought her from Evans Cycles when the list price was £750, I think it was. They had it in sale for £600, and I took in a rusty old bucket that I had left in the garden. I think it only had one wheel that was turning. No, the group set had completely seized up, but they took that in for 50 quid as part exchange. So £550 I paid for it, brand new. It's a size 54, aluminium frame, came with a Shimano Sora group set, I can't even remember the make of the wheels, but I think they were a Specialized in-house brand wheel set, and that it was a decent starting point. But that said, other than the frame and the forks, there is nothing on this bike that was originally on it when I bought it, including actually the way the frame looks, in that I've taken quite a lot of the decals off her. You see these, the black and white stripes I've got on the fork here and on the stays. They also went up the down tube, top tube. They weren't on the seat tube, I don't think. But I find them really ugly. I'm sort of confused by design of modern bike frames, or graphics in particular. Right? Less is more, as far as I'm concerned, and it seems that that's the opinion of a vast majority of cyclists that I've spoken to. So I'm not quite sure what kind of research the designers are doing when they come up with what look like 1980s tracksuits or Power Ranger designs when it comes to splashing graphics all over the bike. So I've pared it back to as little as I can get away with. I'm not taking them off on the fork because it was a really tricky job with a lot of patience and a scalpel. But these areas on the forks and the stays, it seems to be a little bit more embedded in there, and I fear that I'm going to damage the paintwork if I take any more off. But I quite like how that looks now. It's a cleaner look generally over the frame. So yeah, triple butted aluminium frame. I'll start with the changes that I've made. I'll go from top to bottom. First off, standard saddle. It was okay, a little bit firm and didn't quite fit my sit bones. I've gone through quite a few saddles now and arrived at this point where I have a charged spoon, which is really comfy, and obviously the green stitching matches nicely with the frame colour. I had a full carbon, it was actually a bit of an experiment from China. It was a cheapy, unbranded full carbon saddle. In actual fact, really good, unless you get over about, I don't know, 50 miles. Then the the fact that it's got no padding at all starts to tell a little bit. But really light, it's been really strong. I've heard horror stories about unbranded Chinese stuff, and I've not had any of those problems. I might have just been lucky. I do think most of the problems is with inconsistency. So one guy could buy exactly the same thing as the next guy, and they have completely different experiences of it. But that was fine. But having just done a couple of longer rides, switched back to the charge spoon, and that's been a decent investment. It was only like 25, 30 pounds, I think it was. Really good. It sits on a Physique Serrano R3 seat post. Again, I have a carbon seat post that I use as well, but this combination seems to be the most comfortable. Moving forward, I've changed the headset from the standard one to a sealed bearing FSA headset with sort of carbon top cap, carbon spacers. We have a Data 0100 stem. The main reason for changing this, there wasn't much wrong with the standard Specialized one, but the main reason for changing this was the length. I wanted a shorter stem anyway, just to get a more comfortable position. So this is now a 90mm from 110, I think the original one was. That certainly suits me in terms of my overall position a lot better. Handlebars, let me move the camera around for these so you can get a proper look. I really like these. Again, they're just an unbranded carbon cheapie from China. But I really like that flat aero sort of bladed profile. The aero advantages are negated by the fact that I've got this huge iPhone bracket sitting on the top, but that's a necessity because I use my iPhone for Strava. But they're really comfortable, really good bars. Just put you back down there. Levers, which will take us to the whole group set. These are now Shimano 105 from the Soras that I originally had on there. Everything I took off this, by the way, didn't go to waste. I built a bike for Lucas, my son. We bought an aluminium Boardman frame from eBay for about £30. Immaculate, absolutely brand new it seemed. And I basically took every component from this that I wasn't going to be using and managed to build him a pretty decent little bike actually. I think it's only the front mech that we've got to replace because his seat post is wider, so I need to get a new front mech. Other than that, he actually got a pretty decent little bike out of it. Right, so Shimano 105 group set from the Sora. Main advantage is obviously extra speeds. It's an 11 speed. It's lighter, it's nicer looking, and the shifting is really smooth. I've tried some old Tegra and even Dura-Ace bikes. Yeah, they are better, and I'm sure over a longer distance you'd appreciate the benefits a little bit more. But for value for money, I think I paid £290 for the entire group set. It's brilliant. You can't fault it. You don't need any more than that. You really don't. I'd love a SRAM E-Tap or a Dura-Ace Di2, something like that, or get really carried away, move on to the Campag EPS system. But this is good enough for the type of riding I'm doing. Right, moving down, got some unbranded cheap carbon bottle cages, super light, do the job perfectly. I think they're about £3 each. Unbranded Chinese carbon. There's no safety issues with those, obviously. The worst that's going to happen is my bottle will fly out. Fingers crossed, not cause any kind of accident. They've been faultless so far, as have these bars, I've got to say. Again, I think it's inconsistencies with the Chinese unbranded stuff, but I may have just been one of the lucky ones because I have heard some horror stories, but these have been fantastic. I've put them through the ringer a little bit as well. I mean, I've hit some serious potholes. One that was strong enough to knock my seat post right down. The bars held up perfectly, not a crack, not a creak, so absolutely fine. 105 chainring, I've gone for the compact chainring, so it's a 3450, I think that's what it is. 105 front mech. This is a 32 The largest tooth on the cassette is a 32, mainly because I just did the Box Hill ride and there was a lot of climbing involved. So that's a 105 cassette. I do have an Ultegra cassette, which is a little bit lighter, but that's a 25, I think it is. So I thought better of that, and I've gone for the 32 on this one. And trust me, I needed that. I use that granny ring a lot. 105 rear derailleur with the long cage to allow for the 32. This is an Ultegra chain, which I've only just put on there. My other chain finally reached the end of its life. Shifting was getting a little bit clunky and a little bit rattly, so that certainly has improved that. Pedals. Now these are a bit of an extravagance from my point of view, particularly when I was only thinking about it the other day. I wear like bargain basement £25 Shimano shoes, but these are pretty expensive carbon Time Espresso 10 pedals. Bit of a pointless thing, but they're a real weight saver. I find them really easy to clip in and out of, and they look pretty cool, let's be honest. But that's my main, or well, one of my main extravagances on this bike. The main extravagance are these wheels, which they were expensive, a lot more than I should have spent, but I don't regret it for a second, because they've made the biggest single difference to how the bike feels, how I perform, particularly going uphill, because they weigh next to nothing. I think they're the combined weight is something like 1,350 grams, 1,400 grams maybe. They're the Mavic Cerium Pro Exalift, I think it's pronounced. Really nice, lightweight climbing wheels. My favourite thing about them is an aesthetic thing, where they've got this, I think that's what the Exalift refers to as a coating. So they've got this coating on them. They're not carbon, despite what they look like, but you don't, because of the coating, you don't get the silver brake track. It's all one colour, which really makes a difference to me. I think that looks great. So absolutely love these wheels. It came with tyres actually. It came with the Mavic Ixion tyres, which weren't too bad, but nothing special. But I'd already bought a set of the Conti Grand Prix 4000 S2s, 25 mils, which I fitted, and they're really nice. I now believe all the reviews that I read about them, which is why I bought them in the first place. Really comfortable, touch wood, not had any punctures yet, fast rolling, and the 25 mil works really nicely, particularly on the potholey roads that I've got around this way. So yeah, that was a really nice addition. I think that's basically it. I absolutely love it. I look at magazines and see other guys on rides and Cervelos and Colnagos and all the rest of it, and yeah, I do like the idea of having something with a little bit of prestige, but for what I do, I absolutely love this bike. Weight wise, it started just shy of 10 kilograms in standard spec. The spec I had for Ride London, where I had the carbon saddle, what else did I have? I think that's basically it. It's as it is now, but with the carbon saddle and the cages and the iPhone mount, came in at 7.8 kilograms. So I've made a pretty decent saving. Most of that's from the wheels. Group set's a little bit lighter than Sora as well. But as it currently stands, this saddle adds on a little bit of weight. I don't think I've got anything else on there, so I'm probably still just sort of touching 7.9, 8 kilograms of total weight, which is pretty good. It's a lot easier than shedding weight from myself, albeit more expensive than shedding weight from myself. But that's Bianca, or as she's currently known, Bianca. Like I say, leave comments below to let me know if you think it's okay for me to change the name. But every video you see from now on in, unless I win the lottery or get some really decent work contracts in, this is what I'll be riding, and there certainly could be worse things to be riding on. So I hope you enjoyed that, a little tour of my bike. I'll just give you a close-up of a few bits so you get a better look. Slightly grubby chain, apologies for that. I have given her a bit of a wash, but I didn't degrease it properly because I ran out of degreaser basically. But there she is in all her glory. And I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.